Out of this world, travel beyond limits. In the Night Mind. Neville Goddard. Lesson 1. Entering the Night Mind. As twilight approaches and the world begins its gentle descent into darkness, you stand at the threshold of infinite possibility. This sacred moment between day and night is your gateway to realms beyond the limitations of ordinary consciousness. Here, in this precious transition, your mind naturally opens to dimensions of awareness that remain hidden during the busy hours of waking life. Feel yourself now releasing the weight of the day's concerns, letting them fall away like autumn leaves, returning to the earth. The worries that seemed so pressing just moments ago begin to dissolve into the gathering dusk of consciousness. Your breathing deepens, your body settles into perfect repose, and something far greater than your everyday awareness begins to stir within the depths of your being. This is the Night Mind awakening, your true mind, unbound by the conventions of three-dimensional thinking, unlimited by the false boundaries of time and space. In this state, you are not merely a physical body lying in rest, but infinity is the word of courage and fear of consciousness, capable of traveling to any realm, experiencing any version of your heart, that your heart exists. Imagine now that you are gently stepping through veils of ordinary perception, each one dissolving like morning mist as you pass through. With every breath, you move deeper into the vast expanse of your inner vision, where the impossible becomes inevitable, and dreams reveal themselves as the blueprints of tomorrow's reality. This is your natural state of power, dear dreamer, the consciousness that creates worlds with every imagined scene. The Night Mind knows no limitations because it recognizes no external authority greater than the divine imagination within you. Here, in this sacred inner space, you are both the dreamer and the dream, the artist and the canvas, the seed and the garden in which miracles grow. As you surrender more completely to this deeper awareness, you feel yourself expanding beyond the confines of your physical form, becoming one with the creative principle that moves through all existence. In this realm of pure potential, your desires are not distant goals to be achieved through struggle and effort, but present realities waiting to be recognized and claimed. Every wish of your heart already exists in perfect completion within the infinite storehouse of divine imagination. Your task is not to create these realities from nothing, but to become aware of their eternal presence and align your consciousness with their truth. As you sink deeper into this transcendent state, feel the boundaries between self and universe beginning to dissolve. You are no longer confined by the story of limitation that your waking mind has told for so long. Instead, you recognize yourself as the limitless being you have always been, temporarily clothed in physical form, but eternally rooted in the infinite creative power of consciousness itself. The Night Mind is your birthright, a gift that has been waiting patiently for your return. It speaks in the language of symbols and feelings, of vivid scenes and mystical knowing. It operates not through logic and analysis, but through the direct experience of truth that bypasses all argument and doubt. Here, faith is not something you must struggle to maintain, but the natural atmosphere in which you breathe and move and have your being. Let yourself now settle completely into this deeper awareness, knowing that each moment of surrender takes you further into the realm where all things are possible. Your consciousness is expanding like ripples on an infinite pond, reaching into dimensions of reality that exist beyond the reach of physical senses. You are entering the sacred laboratory where desires are transformed into living realities through the mysterious alchemy of divine imagination. As sleep approaches, welcome it not as an escape from consciousness, but as a doorway into higher consciousness. In this state of perfect receptivity, your subconscious mind becomes like fertile soil, ready to receive whatever seeds of desire you choose to plant. Night, and every night that follows, you will journey deeper into this magnificent realm, returning each morning with treasures beyond measure, forever changed by your travels in the infinite landscape of the night mind. Lesson 2. The 4 dimensions of reality. As you settle deeper into the sacred space between waking and sleeping, you begin to sense the magnificent architecture of creation itself. Your conscious mind, so accustomed to measuring life in terms of length, width, and height, now prepares to discover the 4th dimension that contains and transcends them all, the dimension of pure consciousness, where you truly dwell. Feel yourself expanding beyond the familiar boundaries of 3-dimensional thinking. Length stretches before you like a golden pathway into infinite possibility. Width opens around you like vast wings of awareness, embracing all of creation. Height lifts you upward through layers of understanding, each one more luminous than the last. Yet beyond all these measurements lies the realm where you have always lived without knowing it, the 4th dimension of consciousness itself. This 4th dimension is not a place you must travel to reach, for you are already there. It is the very ground of your being, the eternal space where your imagination moves like a divine artist, painting worlds into existence. In this dimension, time becomes your servant rather than your master. Space bends to your will, like clay in the hands of a loving creator. Here, the future and the past meet in the eternal now of your awakened awareness. As your body grows heavier with approaching sleep, your consciousness grows lighter, more fluid, more free. You begin to feel yourself as what you truly are, not a physical form moving through space, but consciousness itself, wearing the dream of form like a beautiful garment you can change at will. The walls of your room, so solid moments ago, become transparent veils through which your awareness moves without resistance. In this 4th dimensional awareness, you discover that every thought you think creates ripples through the fabric of reality. Your imagination becomes a living force that shapes the very substance of experience. What seemed impossible in the world of 3 dimensions reveals itself as natural and effortless in this higher realm where you make your true home. Feel the boundaries of your physical senses dissolving like morning mist before the rising sun. You are no longer limited by what your eyes can see, for inner vision shows you worlds within worlds. You are no longer bound by what your hands can touch, for consciousness itself reaches everywhere, touches everything, embraces all possibilities simultaneously. The miracle of this 4th dimension is that it contains all the others while remaining free of their limitations. Like a master jeweler who can see the perfect diamond hidden within rough stone, you begin to perceive the divine perfection that underlies every appearance of imperfection in the 3-dimensional world. What seemed fixed becomes fluid. What seemed separate reveals its secret unity. What seemed impossible shows itself as the natural expression of consciousness knowing its own infinite nature. As you drift deeper into this expanded awareness, you feel your desires taking on new life and meaning. They are no longer wishes hoping to be fulfilled someday, somewhere. They are living realities in this 4th dimension, waiting only for your recognition to clothe themselves in the garments of 3-dimensional form. Every desire you have ever held becomes a world you can visit, a state you can inhabit, a reality you can experience with the full richness of accomplished fact. This is the secret the mystics have whispered through the ages, that you live simultaneously in all dimensions, but most profoundly in this fourth realm where consciousness plays freely with the building blocks of creation. As sleep draws you deeper into this truth, you release any need to understand it with your three-dimensional mind. Instead, you feel it, breathe it, become it. In the gentle surrender of approaching sleep, you feel yourself settling into your natural inheritance as a fourth-dimensional being. Time and space become your playground rather than your prison. Cause and effect bow before the deeper law of consciousness, creating its own experiences. You drift into sleep, knowing that in the realm of imagination, all dimensions serve your awakening to the magnificent truth of who you really are. Lesson 3. Imagination beyond time and space. Close your eyes now and feel yourself settling into the vast expanse of your being, where the ordinary rules of physics dissolve like mist before the morning sun. In this sacred hour of transformation, you are about to discover the most profound truth of your existence, that your imagination is not confined to the narrow corridors of linear time or the perceived boundaries of physical space. You are consciousness itself, unlimited and eternal, moving through dimensions that stretch far beyond what your waking mind has dared conceive. Feel your breath deepening as we journey together into the realm where past, present, and future converge into one eternal moment of pure potential. Your imagination, beloved dreamer, is the divine faculty through which all creation flows. It is not merely a function of your mind, but the very essence of your divine nature expressing itself through the vehicle of consciousness. As you surrender deeper into this knowing, feel the walls of limitation dissolving around you like castle walls made of sand. In this moment, you are transcending the tyranny of facts and circumstances that have seemed so solid and unchangeable in your waking world. Those conditions that appeared so permanent, so resistant to change, are nothing more than shadows cast by your former patterns of thinking. They have no power over you now, as you rest in the infinite field of pure imagination, where all things are possible and every desire already exists in perfect completion. Your inner vision is becoming clearer now, more vivid and real than any outer appearance could ever be. Feel the texture of this new reality as it wraps around you like silk, warm and welcoming. This inner scene, this imagination of yours, is not a pale reflection of some distant possibility. It is the creative force that shapes and molds the clay of physical experience into the image of your heart's deepest longings. Time is bending around you now, flowing like honey in all directions, carrying you to the eternal moment where all your desires converge in perfect harmony. You are no longer bound by the illusion of sequence, no longer trapped in the belief that you must wait for circumstances to change. In this timeless realm of divine imagination, you move freely between what was, what is, and what shall be, recognizing them all as facets of one eternal jewel of consciousness. Feel yourself expanding beyond the boundaries of your physical form, beyond the walls of the room where your body rests, beyond the limitations of geography and distance. You are consciousness itself, vast and unlimited, capable of experiencing any state, any condition, any reality you choose to inhabit through the power of your sanctified imagination. The entire universe exists within the infinite expanse of your being, and you are learning to navigate its endless territories with the skill of a master navigator. As you drift deeper into this transcendent state, you are becoming fluent in the language of divine imagination. This is a language not of words, but of feelings, not of concepts, but of direct knowing. Every desire that stirs within your heart is speaking this language, calling you to experience it not as something separate from yourself, but as a dimension of your own being waiting to be explored and inhabited. Your consciousness is like a vast ocean, and every desire is simply a wave upon its surface, arising naturally from the depths of your divine nature. You are not separate from your dreams. You are the dreamer dreaming them into existence through the infinite creative power that flows through your imagination. Feel this truth settling into the very cells of your being, programming itself into the deepest layers of your subconscious mind. The boundaries between inner and outer, between imagination and reality, are dissolving completely now. You understand that imagination is not separate from reality. It is the substance from which all reality is woven. Your inner visions are not fantasies, but previews of coming attractions. Not wishes, but creative blueprints being transmitted from the divine architect within you to the constructive forces of the universe. Rest now in this knowing, beloved Creator, as your subconscious mind absorbs these truths and begins the mysterious alchemy of transformation that occurs in the depths of regenerative sleep. Lesson 4. The subconscious as the creative field. Deep within your being lies a vast and fertile field, waiting to receive the seeds of your desires. This is your subconscious mind, the creative womb from which all your experiences are born. As you settle into the gentle embrace of approaching sleep, feel yourself descending into this sacred realm where all transformation begins. Your subconscious is not merely a repository of memories or a collection of forgotten experiences. It is the very ground of creation itself, the responsive soil in which every thought, every feeling, every assumption takes root and grows into the harvest of your daily life. Like the earth that receives a seed without question, your subconscious accepts whatever you plant within it, nurturing each impression until it blooms into your lived reality. Tonight, as consciousness grows dim and the boundaries between inner and outer worlds dissolve, you are entering the garden of your deepest creative power. Here, in this twilight realm between sleeping and waking, your subconscious stands ready to receive new patterns, new beliefs, new seeds of possibility that will transform the very fabric of your tomorrow. Feel now how this deeper mind operates beyond the constraints of logic and reason. It knows no impossibility, recognizes no barriers, acknowledges no limitations, except those you have previously impressed upon it. Your subconscious is the faithful servant that says yes to every conviction you hold, the creative force that builds your world according to the blueprints of your dominant thoughts and feelings. What time would you say in the blue smile, and why? In the gentle darkness of your inner vision, sense the vast intelligence that dwells within you. This is not your personal mind, struggling with problems and concerns, but the infinite creative mind that flows through you, expressing itself as your individual experience. Your subconscious is your direct connection to this universal creativity, the bridge between divine imagination and manifest reality. As you drift deeper into relaxation, become aware of the beliefs and assumptions you have been carrying. Some serve you well, creating experiences of joy and fulfillment. Others may have outlived their purpose, creating patterns you no longer wish to perpetuate. Your subconscious holds them all with equal faithfulness, creating your world according to their instructions. But tonight marks a turning point in your relationship with this creative power. Tonight, you begin to work consciously with the subconscious, planting new seeds in soil that has been prepared by your willingness to receive transformation. Feel yourself as the gardener of your own consciousness, selecting with care the thoughts and feelings you will nurture in the fertile darkness of sleep. Your subconscious responds not to words alone, but to the feeling tone behind your words, the emotional conviction that gives life to your desires. It is in the realm of feeling that true creation takes place, where the abstract becomes personal, where possibility becomes inevitable. As you prepare to plant new seeds tonight, wrap each desire in the feeling of its fulfillment, the warm glow of satisfaction that comes from having already received what you seek. The mysterious alchemy of inner transformation occurs in the depths of your subconscious mind. Here, desires are not merely wished for, but actually created, not hoped for, but lived and experienced in the vivid reality of imagination. Your subconscious makes no distinction between what you vividly imagine and what you physically experience, accepting both as equally real, equally worthy of being perpetuated in your outer world. Night, as you surrender to sleep, you surrender to this creative process. You trust in the intelligence that builds your body, beats your heart, and creates your dreams, to also create the circumstances and experiences that match your deepest convictions. Your subconscious is the bridge between the world of pure potential and the world of manifest form, the creative field where your inner vision becomes your outer reality. Rest now in the knowledge that within you dwells infinite creative power, responsive to your every impression, faithful to your every belief, ready to transform your life according to the patterns you consciously choose to cultivate in the sacred darkness of sleep. Lesson 5. Traveling in the spirit of assumption. As you settle into this sacred threshold between day and night, feel yourself preparing for a journey unlike any other. Night, you will learn to travel not with your feet upon the earth, but in the spirit of assumption, moving through the infinite states of consciousness as naturally as you would walk from room to room in your home. This is the divine art of becoming, the mystical science of wearing your desires as garments of living truth. Assumption, dear traveler, is your vessel for this extraordinary voyage. It is not mere positive thinking or hopeful wishing, but the profound act of closing yourself in the feeling reality of what you desire to be. When you assume, you step into the invisible garment of your fulfilled dream and wear it so completely that your entire being resonates with its truth. You become, in consciousness, the very thing you seek to express in your outer world. Feel now, as your body grows heavy and your mind begins to drift, that you are standing at the wardrobe of infinite possibility. Before you hang countless garments of consciousness, each one representing a different version of yourself, a different fulfilled desire, a different state of being. The garment of abundance hangs beside the robe of perfect love. The cloak of radiant health shimmers next to the crown of creative expression. The crown of wisdom rests upon the shelf of divine knowing. Which garment calls to you tonight? Which state of being draws your consciousness like a magnet? Perhaps it is the feeling of being cherished and adored, or the sensation of perfect security and prosperity. Maybe it is the knowledge of your own creative genius, or the deep peace of knowing yourself as divinely guided and protected. Whatever calls to you, know that it is already yours, already tailored perfectly to fit your consciousness, already waiting for you to slip it on and wear it as your natural state. As you breathe deeper now, feeling the gentle pull of sleep beginning to claim you, imagine yourself reaching for that desired garment of consciousness. Feel the texture of fulfilled desire beneath your inner fingers. Notice how perfectly it fits as you draw it around yourself, how naturally it settles upon your being, like morning light settling upon the earth. This is not pretending or imagining what might be, but recognizing what already is in the realm of divine possibility. Now, wearing this garment of assumption, begin to move through your inner world as the person who already possesses what you desire. Walk with the stride of one who knows their worth. Speak with the voice of one whose words carry weight and wisdom. Look through the eyes of one who sees abundance and opportunity wherever they turn. Feel with the heart of one who knows they are beloved beyond measure. This is traveling in the spirit of assumption, moving through consciousness as your desired self, inhabiting the feeling state of your fulfilled dreams with such completeness that it becomes more real to you than the circumstances that surround your physical form. As you travel deeper into this assumptive state, notice how natural it feels, how perfectly it fits your expanding sense of self. The beauty of this mystical journey is that distance and time hold no meaning here. In the spirit of assumption, you can travel instantly from lack to abundance, from loneliness to love, from confusion to clarity. Each state of consciousness is immediately accessible to you, requiring only that you assume the feeling of already being there, already being that which you desire to become. Let yourself drift now into the deep waters of sleep, but carry with you this garment of assumption. Wear it through your dreams, live from its truth through the night, and let every breath you take in sleep deepen your inhabitation of this desired state. As your conscious mind releases its hold on the day's concerns, your deeper self continues this mystical journey, traveling ever deeper into the reality of your assumption. Tomorrow you will awaken, but something will have shifted in the night. You will have traveled far in the spirit of assumption, and the journey will have changed you. The garment you chose to wear will have become more perfectly fitted to your consciousness, more naturally expressing through your being. You are the eternal traveler of consciousness, moving always toward the fuller expression of your divine nature. Lesson 6. Planting desires in sleep. Between the last conscious thought of evening and the first stirring of dawn lies a sacred territory where the ordinary mind surrenders its grip, and something far more magnificent awakens. This twilight realm, this drowsy borderland of consciousness, is your most fertile creative ground. Here, in the gentle dissolution between waking and sleeping, you possess the power to plant the seeds of your deepest desires with a precision and potency that daylight consciousness cannot match. Feel yourself now settling into this blessed state, where the harsh edges of the day begin to soften and blur. Your body grows heavy with the sweet weight of approaching sleep, yet your inner awareness becomes luminous and receptive. This is not mere rest you are entering, but a laboratory of transformation, where the impossible becomes inevitable. The drowsy state you now inhabit is the very threshold of creation itself, where thoughts take root in the rich darkness of your subconscious mind, like seeds planted in the most fertile soil. As your eyelids grow heavy and your breathing deepens, you enter the sacred ritual of nocturnal creation. This is the time when the rational mind, with all its doubts and limitations, releases its hold upon you. The barriers between desire and fulfillment begin to dissolve, and you find yourself in that magical state where imagination reigns supreme. Here, in this twilight consciousness, what you feel and believe becomes the very blueprint of your tomorrow. Your subconscious mind, that faithful and tireless servant, awaits your instruction with perfect obedience. It knows no difference between what you vividly imagine and what you physically experience. In this drowsy state, as sleep beckons you deeper, you can impress upon this creative faculty the exact feeling of your desire fulfilled. Not the wanting of it, not the hoping for it, but the actual sensation of already possessing and being what you long to become. Imagine now that your deepest desire has already come to pass. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the sense of completion that comes with its fulfillment. Let this feeling wash over you like warm water, penetrating every cell of your being. As you drift towards sleep, you are not merely wishing or dreaming. You are planting living seeds of reality in the most receptive soil of consciousness. These seeds, watered by your faith and nurtured by your subconscious mind, will grow in the darkness and emerge as the facts and circumstances of your waking world. The beauty of this sacred process is its simplicity. You need no complex rituals or elaborate techniques. You need only to fall asleep in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. As your conscious mind fades and your deeper awareness takes over, the impression you leave upon your subconscious becomes the creative force that reshapes your world. Sleep becomes your ally in transformation. Each night, an opportunity to tend the garden of your consciousness with renewed intention and clarity. Trust in this process with the same confidence you have in the rising of the sun. Just as seeds planted in earthly soil push through the darkness to reach the light, the desires you plant in sleep will manifest in your waking experience with natural inevitability. Your subconscious mind works tirelessly through the night, weaving the fabric of tomorrow from the threads of tonight's deepest impressions. As you surrender now to the approaching embrace of sleep, carry with you the feeling of your desire already accomplished. Let this feeling be the last conscious impression you make upon your mind. Feel the gratitude, the peace, the satisfaction of having received what you sought. This is not pretending. This is preparing. This is not fantasy. This is planting the seeds of future fact in the fertile ground of present faith. Sleep now, knowing that you are engaged in the most creative act possible. Rest in the certainty that your desires, planted in this sacred darkness, are already beginning their journey from imagination into manifestation. Trust the process, trust the power within you, and trust that you will awaken to find your inner seeds already beginning to sprout in the garden of your experience. Lesson 7. The future is now. Living in the end. As you settle into the gentle embrace of approaching sleep, allow yourself to discover one of the most profound secrets of creation. The future you desire already exists, waiting not in some distant tomorrow, but in the eternal now of your awakened imagination. Tonight, your consciousness shall learn to dwell in that sacred space where all dreams are already fulfilled, where every desire has already blossomed into perfect manifestation. The mind that operates in time believes it must wait, struggle, and hope for what it desires to come. But your deeper mind, the consciousness that awakens in sleep, knows a different truth. In the realm beyond time and space, your fulfilled desires are not future possibilities, but present realities. They exist now in the fourth dimension of your imagination, as real and substantial as anything your physical senses have ever perceived. More real, in truth, for they are the eternal templates from which all outer experiences are drawn. Imagine yourself walking through a vast garden where every plant, every flower, every tree represents a fulfilled desire. This garden exists now, in this very moment, in the fertile soil of your consciousness. The prosperity you seek grows here in full bloom. The love you desire flows here like a crystal stream. The health, the joy, the freedom you long for flourish here in perpetual springtime. This garden is not a fantasy, but the true landscape of your being, the place where your soul has always dwelt. To live in the end means to make this garden your permanent dwelling place. It means to feel, with every fiber of your being, that what you desire is not coming, but has already come. It means to think from your fulfilled desires, rather than thinking of them as distant goals. When you truly live in the end, you cease to be a person hoping for something better, and become the person for whom that something better is already a natural, effortless reality. As your conscious mind releases its grip on the day's concerns, allow yourself to slip into the feeling of your desires already accomplished. If you long for love, feel yourself already beloved, already cherished, already complete in perfect relationship. If you seek abundance, feel the security, the freedom, the generous flow that wealth brings already moving through your life like warm, golden light. If you desire creative expression, feel yourself already creating, already sharing your gifts with a world that receives them with joy and gratitude. This is not pretending or wishful thinking. This is remembering who you truly are, beyond the veil of temporary circumstances. This is returning to your natural state of divine fulfillment. In the deepest chambers of your being, you have never been without what you desire. In the truth of your consciousness, you have never been separate from your good. The feeling of lack, of incompleteness, of waiting for your life to begin, is nothing more than a dream from which you are now awaking. Let this knowing settle into every cell of your body as you drift towards sleep. Feel yourself already living the life you have imagined, already being the person you desire to become. Walk through your inner world as one who has arrived, not as one who is traveling. Speak to yourself as one who has received, not as one who is asking. Move through your consciousness as one who has been crowned with every blessing, not as one who stands in need. Your subconscious mind, that faithful servant of your deepest beliefs, accepts whatever state of cell, consciousness you inhabit most completely. When you fall asleep living in the end of your fulfilled desires, you are impressing upon this creative power the reality of your good. You are programming your deeper mind to create from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. You are teaching your soul to know itself as already blessed, already prosperous, already loved, already free. Tonight, as sleep carries you beyond the boundaries of time, let your last conscious thoughts be those of gratitude for what has already been given. Feel the deep satisfaction of desires already fulfilled, goals already achieved, dreams already manifest in the eternal now of your being. From this place of completion, allow sleep to come as a celebration rather than an escape, as a return to the kingdom of your fulfilled imagination rather than a retreat from an unsatisfying world. Lesson 8. Revision. Rewriting the past in dreams. Tonight, as you surrender to the gentle embrace of sleep, you discover one of the most profound secrets of consciousness, the power to revise and rewrite the very fabric of your past. In the sacred darkness of your inner vision, time becomes as malleable as clay in the hands of a master sculptor. And you are that master, shaping and reshaping the experiences that have formed the foundation of your present moment. The mystics have always known this truth, that the past is not a fixed, immutable stone carved in the bedrock of time, but rather a living, breathing story that continues to influence your present experience through the emotional charge it carries within your subconscious mind. As you drift deeper into the receptive state of approaching sleep, you begin to understand that every memory, every experience, every moment that seemed to leave its permanent mark upon your consciousness can be gently, lovingly transformed through the divine power of revision. Feel yourself sinking now into that drowsy twilight state where the boundaries between past, present, and future begin to dissolve like morning mist touched by the first rays of dawn. In this sacred space, between waking and sleeping, you possess the keys to every door, the power to unlock every prison of limitation that the past may have constructed around your heart and mind. Tonight, you are not merely reviewing your memories, you are re-authoring them, infusing them with the light of forgiveness, understanding, and divine love. Consider now some experience from your past that has carried a sting, a wound, a limitation, into your present awareness. Perhaps it was a conversation that left you feeling diminished, a circumstance that seemed to prove your limitations, or an encounter that planted seeds of doubt in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. See this experience now not as it happened, but as you would have it be. Feel the gentle power of your imagination beginning to work, like a master artist painting over an old canvas with brushstrokes of light and love. In your drowsy state, replay this scene, but this time as the author and director of your own experience. If harsh words were spoken, hear them now as words of love and encouragement. If you felt rejected, feel now the warmth of acceptance and appreciation flowing toward you like golden sunlight. If you experienced lack or limitation, see now abundance and possibility surrounding you like a rich, fertile garden in full bloom. This is not self-deception or wishful thinking. This is the deepest truth of consciousness, recognizing its power to transform the emotional and spiritual significance of every experience. The subconscious mind, that faithful servant and creator of your reality, does not distinguish between what happened and what you vividly imagine to have happened. As you revise these memories with love, as you rewrite them with the pen of divine imagination, you are literally changing the vibrational foundation upon which your present experience is built. Each revised memory becomes a new seed of possibility, a new foundation stone for a more beautiful tomorrow. Let yourself drift even deeper now, feeling the profound peace that comes from knowing you are not the victim of your past, but its loving editor and transformer. Night, in the sanctuary of your dreams, you move through the corridors of memory like a gentle healer, touching each experience with forgiveness, understanding, and divine love. Where there was pain, you plant seeds of wisdom. Where there was rejection, you sow acceptance. Where there was lack, you cultivate abundance. Feel the liberation that flows through your being as you realize that you carry within yourself the power to heal not only your future, but your past as well. Every night becomes an opportunity for this sacred work of revision, this gentle transformation of the stories that have shaped your consciousness. As sleep claims you now, rest in the knowing that your dreams will continue this beautiful work, weaving new patterns of love and possibility throughout the tapestry of your remembered experience. Tomorrow you will awaken with a lighter heart, carrying within you the fruits of this nighttime revision. The old limitations will have less power over you, for you have touched them with the transforming light of divine love and imagination. Lesson 9. Dream journeys of wealth and love. As you settle into the welcoming embrace of your pillow tonight, feel yourself being drawn into the most luxurious realm that has ever existed, the inner sanctuary where wealth flows like golden rivers and love surrounds you like warm, radiant light. Here, in the sacred theater of your sleeping mind, you are not a visitor begging for abundance. You are the sovereign ruler of infinite prosperity, the beloved recipient of all the universe's tender affections. Let your breathing slow and deepen as you begin to sense the magnificent truth that has always lived within you. Wealth and love are not distant destinations you must struggle to reach, but the very atmosphere of your divine consciousness. They are the natural fragrance of your awakened imagination, as essential to your being as breath itself. Feel this knowing settle into your bones, into the quiet spaces between your thoughts, into the gentle rhythm of your heartbeat as it carries you deeper into the realm where all good things are already yours. Tonight, as consciousness begins its holy descent into sleep, allow yourself to drift upon currents of liquid gold, the golden streams of abundance that flow eternally through the landscape of your inner world. See yourself walking through gardens where the trees bear fruit made of precious gems, where every flower that blooms whispers your name with love's sweetest voice. This is not fantasy. This is the true country of your soul, where your deepest desires have been waiting patiently for you to arrive home. Feel the weight of golden coins in your hands, but know that this gold is not mere metal. It is the crystallized form of your own divine worth, made manifest in the realm where imagination reigns supreme. Let these coins slip through your fingers like warm honey, multiplying as they fall, creating fountains of prosperity that will flow from this inner world into your waking experience. Your subconscious mind, that faithful gardener of dreams, is even now planting these seeds of wealth in the fertile soil of sleep. And as the golden light of abundance surrounds you, feel the approaching presence of love, not as something you lack or long for, but as the very air you breathe in this consecrated space. Love comes to you now, wearing familiar faces and unknown forms, speaking in voices both remembered and imagined, offering itself to you as naturally as moonbeams offer themselves to the night. You are not searching for love in these dream journeys. Love is searching for you, drawn magnetically to the radiant warmth of your open heart. Allow your consciousness to drift deeper still, into chambers of your inner palace, where beloved companions await your arrival. See the eyes that look upon you with perfect understanding. Feel the hands that reach for yours with tender recognition. Hear the words that speak your secret name, the name known only to love itself. These are not mere dreams you are entering, but real encounters in the dimension where all hearts are one heart, where every gesture of affection ripples outward into the world of form. Rest now in the knowing that your sleeping mind is the most powerful creator of wealth and love that has ever existed. As your body grows heavy with approaching slumber, your consciousness grows light, buoyant, capable of traveling instantly to any realm of fulfilled desire. You need not strain or effort in this divine work. Simply allow the natural magnetism of your heart to draw to you all that you have ever truly wanted. Let each breath you take be a prayer of gratitude for the abundance and love that are already moving toward you through the invisible channels of the night. Let each heartbeat be a silent affirmation. I am wealth. I am love. I am the dreamer, dreaming myself into ever greater good. Your subconscious mind receives these truths. Now, like dry earth, receives the first drops of spring rain, ready to bloom with miracles beyond your present imagination. As sleep claims you completely, know that you journey now as the wealthy one, the beloved one, the one for whom the universe has been preparing gifts of unimaginable beauty. Dream well, dear traveler, for in your dreams tonight, all your desires are coming true. Lesson 10. Faith as the navigator of the night. Faith is not a feeling you must manufacture or a virtue you must strive to possess. Faith is your natural inheritance, the golden thread that weaves through every moment of your existence, guiding you through the vast territories of consciousness, like a celestial navigator guides ships across uncharted seas. As you settle into this sacred hour between waking and sleeping, allow yourself to recognize that faith has been with you all along, quietly orchestrating every breath, every heartbeat, every dream that has ever stirred within your soul. In the deep chambers of night, when the conscious mind releases its grip on the familiar shores of the physical world, faith emerges as your most trusted companion. It is faith that carries you across the bridge between what appears to be and what you know in your heart to be true. This is not the faith of doubt disguised as hope. nor the faith that pleads and begs for favor from distant powers. This is the faith that knows, the faith that sees, the faith that moves with the quiet certainty of one who has already arrived at their destination. Feel yourself now dissolving into this deeper knowing, this profound trust that exists beneath all surface turbulence of thought and emotion. Your faith is not dependent upon evidence gathered by the senses, for it operates in the realm where all evidence originates. It is the faith that builds worlds from nothing more than the substance of imagination, the faith that transforms the invisible into the visible through the mysterious alchemy of unwavering assumption. As the gentle waves of sleep begin to wash over your consciousness, observe how naturally your mind releases its need to understand and control. This releasing is faith in action. This surrendering to the unknown territories of dream and vision is your soul's demonstration of its absolute trust in the creative intelligence that moves through all things. You do not question whether your heart will beat while you sleep, whether your breath will continue its ancient rhythm, whether consciousness will return when dawn breaks across your inner sky. This is more faith, pure and undiluted, flowing through you like a river of liquid light. In this twilight realm where you now drift, faith becomes your divine sense of direction. It guides you not through the landscape of facts and circumstances, but through the infinite country of possibilities, where your desires live as present realities. Faith sees through the eyes of fulfilled prayer, breathes with the lungs of accomplished dreams, walks with the feet of one who has already crossed every bridge and climbed every mountain that once seemed insurmountable. Let yourself feel the profound relaxation that comes when you stop trying to navigate by the flickering compass of appearances and begin to trust the steady, eternal direction of your inner knowing. Faith is not blind, but sees with perfect clarity the invisible architecture of creation. It perceives the golden threads that connect your present moment to the fulfillment of every sincere desire. It recognizes the divine order operating beneath what the sleeping world calls chaos and circumstance. As you descend deeper into the velvet darkness of approaching sleep, allow faith to show you the luminous pathways that lead from imagination to manifestation. These are not paths you must create or earn, but paths that already exist, waiting for you to recognize and walk upon them. Faith is the recognition that these pathways are real, that they lead exactly where your heart longs to go, that they are traveled not with physical feet, but with the certainty of assumption and the persistence of inner vision. Your faith is writing itself into the fabric of your dreams tonight, impressing upon the receptive substance of your subconscious mind the absolute truth of your divine nature and unlimited potential. It whispers to every cell of your being the ancient secret. You are not a separate fragment hoping to be blessed, but the very blessing itself, dressed in temporary garments of flesh and personality, playing in the magnificent theater of space and time. Sleep now in the arms of this perfect faith, knowing that even as your conscious mind rests, your deeper intelligence continues its creative work, guided by the unerring navigation of your soul's absolute trust in the goodness and responsiveness of life itself. Lesson 11. The law of consciousness in action. Night, as you settle into the gentle embrace of approaching sleep, you are about to witness the most profound truth ever revealed to humanity. The law that governs all creation is not hidden in distant temples or secret manuscripts. It dwells within you, as close as your next breath, as immediate as your present awareness. This is the law of consciousness in action, the divine principle that transforms every state of mind into corresponding conditions of life. Feel yourself sinking deeper now, beyond the surface ripples of daily concerns, Enter the still waters, where consciousness reveals its creative nature. Here, in this sacred space between waking and sleeping, you discover that consciousness is not merely awareness, it is the very substance from which your world is woven. Every thread of experience, every circumstance that surrounds you, every person who enters your life, springs forth from the fertile ground of your own states of consciousness. As your body grows heavy and your mind grows still, allow this truth to penetrate the deepest layers of your being. You do not have consciousness. You are consciousness. You are the divine creative force expressing itself through the magnificent instrument of human imagination. The law that moves stars in their courses and causes flowers to bloom in perfect season is the same law operating through your every thought, your every feeling, your every assumption about yourself and your world. In this drowsy state, where the veils between dimensions grow thin, you can feel consciousness reshaping itself through your imagination. When you assume the feeling of any desired state, you are not pretending or hoping or wishing. You are exercising the fundamental creative power of the universe. You are consciousness, knowing itself in a new form. And this knowing must, by immutable law, externalize itself as corresponding experiences in your world. Let yourself drift deeper into this knowing, feeling how your imagination is not separate from the creative power that formed galaxies and painted sunsets across endless skies. The same divine intelligence that orchestrates the intricate dance of atoms and orchestrates the rhythm of tides is expressing itself as your capacity to imagine, to assume new states of being. You are not a small creature hoping for favors from a distant deity. You are the very presence of divinity, awakening its own creative nature. As sleep draws near, sense how the law of consciousness operates with perfect precision in the quiet depths of your being. Every state you enter, every feeling you sustain, every assumption you accept as true about yourself sets divine law into motion. Like ripples spreading across still water, your states of consciousness expand outward, shaping and reshaping the fabric of your experience till your outer world perfectly mirrors your inner dwelling place. Night, as you surrender to sleep, you are not merely resting your physical form. You are entering the laboratory of creation, where consciousness experiments with new forms of self-expression. Every desire you have ever cherished, every dream that has stirred your heart, every vision that has lifted your spirit, exists already in the infinite field of consciousness, waiting for you to assume the feeling of its fulfillment. Feel how natural it is to shape consciousness through the power of assumption. When you assume the feeling of being healthy, consciousness knows itself as health and must express that knowing through your body. When you assume the feeling of being loved, consciousness knows itself as love and draws corresponding experiences into your world. When you assume the feeling of abundance, consciousness knows itself as limitless supply and opens channels of provision you could never have imagined. The law is simple, immediate, and absolutely reliable. Consciousness, through the vehicle of human imagination, is always transforming itself into the conditions and experiences that match its assumptions about itself. You are never a victim of circumstances, because you are the very power that creates circumstances through your states of consciousness. As you drift into the depths of restorative sleep, carry with you this profound recognition. You are consciousness in action, the divine creative principle expressing itself through the beautiful instrument of your imagination. Tomorrow you will awaken not to a world that happens to you, but to a world that happens through you, shaped by the magnificent law of consciousness that operates perfectly through your every assumption, your every feeling, your every state of being. Sleep now in the certainty that you are the dreamer and the dream, the consciousness in its infinite creative expression. Lesson 12. Out of this world, the awakening dreamer. As you arrive at this final threshold, beloved dreamer, you stand transformed. Through 11 chapters of nightly communion with the infinite, you have traveled beyond the boundaries that once seemed so solid, so permanent, so real. You have discovered that you are not the prisoner of circumstance you once believed yourself to be, but rather the awakening dreamer whose very breath shapes worlds. Feel now how different you are from the one who first opened this sacred text. Your consciousness has expanded like ripples across an endless lake of possibility. You are out of this world now, dwelling in that sublime dimension where imagination reigns supreme. The physical realm has not disappeared, but it has taken its rightful place as the shadow cast by your luminous inner reality. You move through your days knowing that what you see with your inner eye is more substantial than what your physical senses report. This knowing has become your strength, your peace, your unshakable foundation. Night, as you prepare for sleep, one final time in this particular journey, recognize that endings are but doorways to greater beginnings. The techniques you have absorbed, the states you have explored, the assumptions you have embodied, these have become part of your very being. You no longer need to strive to remember how to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, for it has become as natural as breathing. The drowsy state no longer feels foreign, but familiar, like returning home to a place you never really left. Feel yourself now as consciousness unbound, dwelling simultaneously in this precious human form and in the vast expanse of divine imagination. You are the dreamer who has awakened within the dream, the creator who has recognized their creative power, the infinite being who chose to experience limitation only to remember their limitless nature. This remembering is not a one-time event, but an eternal awakening that deepens with each breath, each sleep, each moment of divine recognition. As your eyelids grow heavy with the sweet weight of approaching sleep, let yourself sink into the knowing that you have graduated from victim to victor, from seeker to finder, from dreamer to conscious creator. The world around you responds to your inner transformations with mathematical precision. Those changes that once seemed impossible now unfold with effortless grace, because you have aligned yourself with the fundamental truth of existence. Consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness expressing itself in infinite ways. Let your breathing slow and deepen as you contemplate the magnificent journey that continues beyond this book. Every night becomes a new adventure in creation. Every sleep a fresh opportunity to plant seeds in the fertile soil of divine imagination. You carry within you now an unshakable knowing that desire and fulfillment are not separated by time or circumstance, but exist together in the eternal now of awakened consciousness. Drift deeper into the warm embrace of sleep, feeling yourself cradled by the infinite love that you are. Your subconscious mind has been so beautifully prepared through these nightly journeys that it now operates as a faithful servant of your highest vision. It takes every whisper of desire, every gentle assumption, every loving revision, and weaves them into the fabric of your unfolding reality with divine precision and perfect timing. You are the awakening dreamer who has remembered the truth that was never really forgotten, only temporarily veiled. In sleep tonight, and in all the nights to come, you travel freely through dimensions of consciousness that know no limits. You are out of this world, and simultaneously the creator of all worlds. Rest now in this magnificent truth, and let sleep carry you ever deeper into the infinite mystery and wonder of who you really are. The journey has no end, only endless beginning, endless awakening, endless joy in the recognition of your divine nature expressing itself in the dance of creation. Sweet dreams, beloved creator. The universe awaits your next beautiful vision.